All right. Questions that you might have about any of these that I have not done yet, which would be like something. 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is that it? Cool. Hi.
You still want to? I don't care.
Well, if you're tardy, you'll lose your seat, pal.
I don't care.
Okay, I'm glad you don't care.
I'm used to this.
Questions? Are we good? We happy? Yes.
10.
Number 10. You got it. Okay. So number 10, we all good? All right, so I'm going to multiply the last number times the first number, yes? Which is going to give me negative 12. Okay? So what do we definitely know about the signs at this point? What do I definitely know about my signs? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Do what?
Well, we know that those two out of 10 is 12, so we just find what, then we just do 12 minus, we have to get to x, right?
Yeah, so that's a 1x, right?
Uh-huh.
That's supposed to be a 1. Let me redo that 1. But what do you definitely know about the two signs of the two numbers that you're going to use? Are they both positive, both negative, or one of each?
Both negative.
Both negative gives me a positive when I multiply.
What negative?
Yeah, so I have positive and negative. Good? So, go through this. Hey, friends, 1 and 12 is the first factors. Is there any way that I could have one of those positive, one of those negative, that would add up to negative 1?
Yes.
If, yeah, so do we feel this isn't going to work? Because if I do this, this is either negative 1 plus 12 or 1 minus 12. So I get either 11 or negative 11. So is that the same thing as negative 1? No. Cancel. All right. And then we have 2 and 6. Is there any way that I have negative 2 plus 6 or 2 minus 6? Is there any way I can make those equal to 1? Because I'm getting 4 and negative 4. So are those equal to negative 1? Nope. You guys are talking. Rice, you okay? And then I'm going to do 3 and 4. Is there any way I could do 3 plus 4 or 3 minus 4 to get negative 1? This would give me 1. This would give me negative 1. Ooh. So I have plus 3x minus 4x. Agree? That's going to go into right here. So the end parts come straight down. And I'm going to plug this in. So I get whatever order I want. Okay. So let's group this. What do I have in common between these two numbers, or these two terms? X, very good. That leaves me 4x plus 3. Middle sign always does what? Comes down. This means I'm factoring a negative out, so the signs are going to change on the last two. What can I factor out of these last two things? A 1. Excellent. Thank you. That's going to give me 4x plus 3. So those have to be the same for it to factor. And then whatever I've left goes in the other set of parentheses. Simple as that. Okay? What else do you see on that page I could help you with?
You go over number 9.
I'm sorry?
Number 9.
9? Yes, sir. Can I move off the screen?
I'll wait for number 5.
Are you recording?
Yeah, I'm recording. Yeah, the recording's down here. I did 5 yesterday.
Did you?
Uh-huh. Thanks for paying attention there, kiddo. Are we ready now to move on? That was 9, right? Okay. Looks pretty good. All right, I'm going to multiply the last number times the first number, and that's going to give me a positive 18. So let's think about the signs right now. Are they both positive or are they both negative? Both positive means that 11 would be a positive 11.
So positive
No, not one of each. In order to get a positive number, they have to be the same sign. So our choices are positive, positive, or negative, negative. It has to be negative, negative because of this. Okay? That happens. All right. So 1 times 18 is the first factors. Is there any way to go negative 1 plus negative 18 to get negative 11? No. What about 2 and 9? Is there any way that I could go negative 2 plus negative 9 to get negative 11? Yeah, that works. So notice how I'm doing it. So I have been in the past listing them all out, but now I'm starting to kind of reshuffle back to, let's just start with the 1 and the 18 and then go from there, and then try 2, then try 3, so on and so forth. So negative 2x minus 9x will indeed add up to negative 11. Negative 2 times negative 9 is that positive 18 that we wanted. Okay? So the ends come down. Okay? And this is going to squeeze in where this was. Whatever order I want. It doesn't matter as long as I keep the signs with me, okay? All right. What do I have in common between these two? X. Anything else? 2. Okay, so if I factor a 2x out of 6x squared, I'm left with a 3x. If I factor a 2x out of negative 2x, I have a negative here. I have to have a 1 as a placeholder. Is that okay? This middle number, or middle sign always comes straight down. This means I'm factoring out a negative. So what do I have in common between these two? 3. So if I factor a negative 3 out of negative 9x, that gives me a positive 3x. And you can double check if you made that right. If I go negative 3 times positive 3x, do I get negative 9x? This week I do. If I factor a negative 3 out of positive 3, what's my placeholder? Negative 1. I have this. I have this. Those are the same. Yes? Other than different colors?
Yeah, minus what?
There it is. Anything else? 12? Okay. Number 12. Okay. I don't have to put a 1 there because I got a 4. I'm going to multiply the first times the last. I get a positive 24. So what do we know about the signs? Are they both positive or are they both negative? They're both positive. If all the signs are positive, that's going to be a pretty good indicator. All right, so I'm trying to add up two numbers that are factors of 24 that add to 11. So if I add 1 and 24 together, do I get 11? No. If I add 2 and 12 together, do I get 11? No, that gives me 14. If I add 3 and 8 together, do I get 11? Yeah, 4 and 6 would give me 10, so that's not going to work. But this will work here. So I have a plus 3x and a plus 8x. So this is going to sub in right here. Okay? The ends come down. And I'm going to plug that straight in. Whatever order I want, just make sure you keep the signs there. Okay? What do I have in common between these two? X. Very good. Okay, what am I hoping the other one has as a factor when I go to the other one? That 4x plus 3 I'm trying to get on the other one. So we're trying to keep that in mind, okay? Middle sign comes straight down. Good, we're not factoring out any negatives. What do I have in common between these two? A 2. If I factor 2 out of 8x, I'm left with 4x. If I factor 2 out of 6, I'm left with 3. Are these the same? Hey friends, let me ask you something. What do you think would happen if those weren't the same?
You're right.
That could be a possibility. Okay, so it won't factor. Okay, so that might be something we're going to look at today. Okay, so I get 4x plus 3, and then I get x plus 2. Okay? All right. So you don't really have to write this down. We're just going to kind of take a look at 3 examples. 3 things that are going to happen. Okay? Can I move off the screen? Okay. Let's say I have x to the third plus 6x squared plus 5x. Okay, we want to factor this down. What appears to be different about this? What's that? Well, the first one is to the what? To the third, right? So does everyone feel comfortable that this is not an x squared thing? This is not a quadratic? Okay, so first thing we have to think about. Do we have a greatest common factor? Okay, what do all 3 of these terms seem to have in common between them? They all have an x. Does everyone feel comfortable with us saying that? All 3 of those terms have an x. Okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor an x out, and it's going to give me this. Okay? All right. Do you all see this x right there that I just highlighted in pink? Okay? Everyone see it? So I'm going to bring it down. My answer is going to be right here. Okay? So I'm going to bring this straight down to here. It's part of my answer. Okay? It's part of my answer. Is that okay so far? So now, I know it's part of my answer. I'm going to ignore it. So now I'm just going to look at what I had in the parentheses, which was this. And then I'm going to do this the same way. Need to put a 1 out front because I didn't have a 1 there. 5 times 1 is positive 5. Both signs have to be positive. The only way to get 5 is 1 times 5. Hey, is 1 plus 5 6? Yeah. So that's going to squeeze in there. So notice I'm doing this the same way. Once I took that greatest common factor out, then I'm going to say, okay, I have an x in common here. Middle sign comes down. I have a 5 in common here. Okay, those are both the same. X plus 1. What do I have left over? X plus 5. So this entire thing is the answer. So what was different about what I just did compared to what I had just taught you over the past 3 days? Yeah, you have a greatest common factor first. Okay, but here's the key on this. And I imagine there's all kinds of things to do. But notice what I did. I had an x in common in all 3. I brought it out front. I then bring it down to where my answer is going to be, and I forget it. It's gone now. I'm not worried about it. It's part of my answer. It's no longer there. Then I go ahead and factor that like normal. Okay? So that's kind of a big key. Now, guys, I have seen at least 15 different ways to go through and factor these. And we've chosen the grouping for a number of reasons, but there's other ones. I know some of you have seen some other ways, which is fine. Just be very cautious on those other ways that you just don't eliminate. Like, don't forget that x. If you forgot that x at the end, Right there, that's probably a 4-point problem. If you forgot the x, you'd lose one of the points. You'd get 3 of the 4 points as long as it was factored right. Okay? So that's kind of important to know. Ooh, shoelaces coming out here. I almost tripped and fell. And I'm sitting down. That's scary.
Stuart, will this be on our test next Thursday?
Yeah. Thursday. Hey, we have a. I think somebody fell on the
Next
stairs.
Thursday. Spirit check.
Did you hear it? It sound like
I
it.
heard it. It sounded like they had paper or something too.
Is someone fall?
I think so.
I did see a flash of something.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Can I move off this problem? I know. I mean, this is recorded and it'll be posted on the PDF of the notes. But let's take a look at one other type of problem. Let's say I have Okay. Hey, friends. Kind of a little hint on some of these. If you tried doing this where you're like, oh, I'm going to multiply 60 times 20 and I'm going to get 1,200, and then I'm going to list the factors of 1,200 that add up to 70. That's your key indicator that there's going to be something to factor out. So my friends, taking a look at our problem. What does it appear? What number? Remember the last one I did was a letter, but what number on this one would come out of all three terms, do you think? 10? 10 sound good? If I factor a 10 out of 20x squared, I'm left with 2x squared. If I factor a 10 out of 70x, I'm left with 7x. And if I factor a 10 out of 60, I'm left with this. Hey, friends, what do you think I should do with the 10? Yeah, bring it down and forget about it. Just bring it straight down. This is where my answer is going to live. Okay? I'm not worried about this right now. Now I'm going to focus on factoring this. Is that okay so far? And that's done the same way we've been doing it. 6 times 2 is positive 12. In order to get a positive 12, I need a positive positive or a negative negative. All the signs are positive. Therefore, they're both positive. All right, so I want to figure out the factors of 7 that are factors of 12 that add to 7. So do 1 and 12 work? Do 2 and 6 work? Do 3 and 4 work? 3 and 4 works. So I get plus 3x plus 4x. So I get 2x squared. The ends come down. I'm going to plug this into the middle. Plug it in right there. Okay. What do I have in common between these two? X. So that's 2x plus 3. Middle number or sign comes down. What do I have in common between these two? 2. Factor the 2 out of both. Those are the same. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. It's just realize I have a little bit added to my answer. So this whole thing is my answer.
I'm just saying that looks like number 5.
That's actually what I did. I just, because I didn't have notes based on this, I was just.
Oh, got you.
I took number 5 and just multiplied everything by 10 and wrote that as an example problem. All right. So the one prior, this one, I had to factor an x out, and x was part of the answer. On this one, I had to factor a 10 out, where 10 is part of the answer. Okay? All right, last one I want to try. Let's see. Let's play. Okay, so what do you think this one has? Does this combine both, you think? Could have a letter and a number? So is everyone okay that we have an x in common so far? Okay. Now we have to think about what number would go into 24, 44, and 12? 4. Good.
I said two.
2 works, but that's not the biggest one. I love the thought, though. You would have been almost there. Okay? All right, so if I factor a 4x out of here, I'm left with 6x squared. If I factor a 4x out of this, I'm left with 11x. If I factor a 4 out of the 12, I'm left with plus 3. This is part of the answer. Just bring that straight down. Create yourself a couple parentheses down low. Say, all right. Factor that. Three times 6 is positive 18. Being I have a negative sign on my middle term, they're both negative. So both negative, I have 1 and 18. I want it to add up to 11. Nope. 2 and 9. Yep. So negative 2x and negative 9x combine together to give me negative 11. The ends come down. And the reason I'm kind of going through these is these are actually problems that we would have seen already. Oops. So notice I have a whole part of my answer there. Okay. Okay. So I want to just kind of go. Can I erase that or move on? So question. Let's say we have some problem and we're working through it and it comes down to this. Let's say we've worked through the problem and that's what it comes down to. What do you think? What do you think? What always had it? So I was working through a problem, so I'm kind of giving you like the third step down. What do you think you would do in this situation? Let's take it one step beyond. Let's go x squared plus 10x minus 13. Okay? So first thing I do is put a 1 out front, right? Multiply. In order to get a negative number, you have to have positive or negative. And 1 times 13 is the only way to get 13. Friends, can I, in any way, shape, or form, have a positive and negative there to get to a 10 right there? No. So what you call this is prime. That just means it doesn't factor. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It exists because you have it written down in your paper. Okay? But this won't factor. And that's okay. That happens. So if you come across one that doesn't factor, just write the word prime. Okay? Now, friends, don't be the kid, because on the test you'll have one that's prime. Don't be that one kid who will write every answer being prime going, yeah, but I got that one right. Yeah, but you missed 46 out of 50 points. Yeah. And you didn't even spell your name right.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Or you don't even write your name. That's an L. So you don't even write it.
I didn't know.
That's an L.
All right.
Spell your name on that.
I don't know how to spell my last name.
Right.
I was like, yeah, that's mine. You know, stop.
Alright, what's the homework for tonight?
51. Wait, no, 51.
Nope, pages 51, 52, problems 1 through 21, all. You guys got at least 19 minutes to get this done.
You're welcome to get your phone, as long as you use your phone to do the Schoology to get the odd answers down. You know where to find the odd answers, friends?
Oh, no, yeah.
It's in the PDF folder.